There he is.
Hey, good afternoon. Sorry about that, Bob and Katrina, and welcome to the Yard here at Howard University in the District of Columbia. We are standing just in front of the stage where Vice President Harris will be speaking. Actually, she'll be on this side of me. Perhaps you can see the nascent lectern that's being built. I'm going to ask my cameraman, Mike Palmer, to pan about the Yard a little bit so you can see a little of what this scene looks like. Right now, none of the people who will be supporters of the Vice President, who will be cheering her on, have arrived. You perhaps can see some of the bleachers that are empty. By my unofficial count, I would say maybe the bleachers in total could fit about 400 people. And if that's what happens, it's quite conceivable that there will be more members of news media organizations on hand than supporters of the Vice President. Right now, we have no time when we can say for sure we're going to see the Vice President here at Howard University. The security setup here is over the top. It took me about 2 hours from the drop-off point, which was several blocks from Howard University, to get through the Secret Service security perimeter and then up to this riser where we're broadcasting from now. I'm glad I arrived early. The Vice President, according to her aides, is spending the day at the Vice President's residence, the U.S. Naval Observatory in Northwest Washington, holding internal briefings and meetings. She's also conducting some radio interviews, so she's still trying to use the remaining time, perhaps, to sway some last-minute voters, either to vote for her or at least to get out and vote. As for President Biden, by the way, the forgotten figure in tonight's balloting, he has nothing on his schedule except for him to receive the presidential daily brief at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so that has already happened. And that's interesting in its own right, that the president, on a day where really he has nothing going on, would wait that late in the day to receive the presidential daily briefing, which is a compendium of the most highly classified secrets that the intelligence community compiles for the review of the president every day. For context, back in the Bush-Cheney administration, Vice President Cheney used to review the presidential daily brief even before President Bush got a look at it every day before dawn. So we don't know what President Biden was so busy with doing that he deferred receiving the presidential daily briefing until 1:30 p.m. But as of right now, it's still a casual scene, except for the security. Bob and Katrina.
James, seems very casual. Let me ask you a question. You've covered campaigns before, election nights before. The size of the venue that Kamala Harris has chosen, you said it's possible there could be more media there at the end than actual attendees. What are your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting selection. We see that former President Trump, I think he's taking in the returns in Florida, correct? Because he's a resident of Florida. Vice President Harris voted early in her home state of California, but she didn't return to California to take in the returns there. Why not? Is it because she fears that California appears too liberal in some sense? We don't know. Why not just take in the returns at her home, or what is her home these days, which is the Vice President's residence at the U.S. Naval Observatory? Perhaps that smacks of too much imperium? We don't know. So she chose Howard University, and she will be speaking outdoors. She has lucked out, and we have lucked out in the sense that the weather is really nice here in Washington today, and presumably tonight as well.
James Rosen will be checking in with